Priya Matharu's Desi Beats.
This is Switch.
Hello, Jay, Sean, Rishi Rich. Thank you so much for joining me and having a chat with me today.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
So obviously Nakhre's out, everyone's loving it. The music videos had like over 2 million views, I think, at the moment, which is like insane. Yep. How do you feel about the response that it's had?
It's been honestly phenomenal. Rish and I, we were just talking about this while we were making the song. You know, we were like, the fact that this formula, what we do, has resonated with fans all around the world, not just in England. Like, it might have started in England, but it's gone around the world. It's something so special, you know, and sometimes you just hit the jackpot when you get together. And I think Nakhre was one of those. We both knew it. We've written so many songs together before, but we knew this one was special. So the fact that the fans are also feeling it, it's really clear they're loving it. So thank you, man.
And how did this song actually come about? Was it kind of in the works a while ago?
Go on, Rish.
Jay came to India about a year and a half ago, and literally to work. You know, we planned this trip so he would, because I'm based out in Mumbai, he's in America. So, you know, with other artists and I guess with other producers, you know, we can work with things remotely. But I think with Jay and myself, it's always been the case that we've never worked remotely. We've always had to be in the same room. Last time when I lived in Atlanta, Jay flew to Atlanta and we did Freak there. And obviously when we were both in London, actually in London, when, you know, I had my studio there. So we were working together there, and now I'm in Mumbai. So Jay was like, I need to come to Mumbai to work with you. And with the intention of, let's just get a vibe together. You know, I want to do some music with you. I want us, you know, we want to work. I wanted to work with him. How are we going to make this work? So he came down and, you know, we'd worked together on a few songs and ideas. We worked on one song actually, and then we went out, and then, we came back and it was 3 a.m. It was myself, him and Kirani in the studio, one of the writers I work with who's part of the label. And, you know, Jay was very clear about, like, he wants to do a track using a 90s Bollywood sample, but that's all he knew that's what he wanted to do. That's his kind of favorite genre from the Bollywood, what's come out of Bollywood in terms of musically. So we were going through different songs, different films, you know, all our favorites, Ashikis and things like that. And Bazigar came on, and then Tere Chere Pe came on, and we heard the flute. And I think all of us in the room knew that actually there's something here, because I think one, it gave you that nostalgic kind of 90s feeling because of the sample. Secondly, because it was one of those I love the fact that everything that me and Jay have done previously has always had a running hook. You know, it's always had a musical hook, whether it's Kya Kool Hai Hum, whether it's Holding On, had the flute. Obviously, Dance With You had the flute. You know, with Freak, Eyes On You, you know, had the, you know, the flute. Freak had the ten. It had, everything's had this. That's something that it's very hard to get a hook that you can go in and out with your melodies. And no, you know, when you listen to Nakhre, that sample runs pretty much 99% through the whole song. But yet Jay's melodies are going up and they're kind of doing its thing, you know. So I knew that we had something there the minute I sampled it, the minute I put the beat down, because, you know, I've always said this, that you know, you're kind of there when you can just play the loop, you know, when you can play a loop of a track. And I've always tried to do that with my music. That's why I've been in a club where they've played 3 minutes of just Dance With You, the instrumental, and people are dancing, and then they mix the actual song in, you know, and people can, you know, that's when you've got something, when they can play it in. So I knew that when I put the drums down, even though it was 4 a.m. and we had a few tequilas and stuff, but we knew that we had something. And then obviously Jay just kind of put the icing on the cake with his melodies and everything he did. And pretty much, and I've said this in every interview, pretty much what you hear now on Nakhre is kind of 80% what we did that day, you know, that night.
And obviously, Jay, it's the first time you've sang on a record in Punjabi, because you've done it live before, haven't you? But not
right. Exactly. That's right. That's absolutely right. I do it live every time I do a show. I do Juggy's bits, and, you know, unless those great moments where Juggy's actually happens to be there and can do it. But majority of the time, I have to sing Juggy's parts, and Juggy sings my parts, by the way. Like it's hilarious. It's really cute. But yeah, so of course technically I can sing in Punjabi and I can sing in Hindi. Oddly enough, I recorded in Hindi before I recorded in Punjabi. And I think that's because of the fact that I always had Juggy anyway. So we always kind of assumed if I ever did anything in Punjabi, if I ever wrote Punjabi hook, that Juggy would sing it. But with this situation, it was just so weird. We could easily have had Juggy do it, and I would have loved to have Juggy do it. But Rishi did say something interesting, and he was like, you've never done this yourself. And plus, this is not like a Rishi Rich project song. This was meant to be like, I came there sort of looking for just some songs to put out. And so he said, why don't you do it? He goes, why do you have to have a collaboration? You don't have to have a collab. This can just be you. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, I've never done it. Why not? You have Enrique will sing in English and Spanish. J-Lo will sing in English and Spanish. Shakira will sing in English and Spanish. Even though their primary is English, I've never done my Punjabi. So it was a fun thing for us to do. And plus, obviously, we knew already that we have a Rishi Rich project track coming. Me, Rishi, and Juggy already have a song together coming out. So.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the music video, because obviously there's a nod to Eyes on You. There's a lot of Bollywood references in there. So how did you come up with the idea for that? And especially with COVID, like thinking about.
Well, that's why. It's because of COVID, right? So Rishi because obviously Rishi has set up his own label, Break the Noise. I have my own label, Camouflage. And what we realized was, because we knew we were going to put this out together between our labels, what was beautiful was there was no one else's opinion involved. It was literally all the creative was left down to us. So we said, we can do what we want. So we started talking about what should we do for a video? Obviously, I can't shoot a full-blown music video here in America because of social distancing and extras and stuff and whatever. So Rich was like, why don't we do the whole thing animated? Because he had already had an animator do one of his previous singles on his label. And I said, yeah, that's a wicked idea. We could do that. But then we started bantering back and forth and brainstorming. And then Rishi was like, maybe you should shoot yourself in like your house and you're watching TV and you get sucked into the TV. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. Or maybe we could sort of do the first verse, maybe to camera and you don't know what's going to happen. I'm just singing like I did in Eyes on You. So we decided to go to an Indian area of New Jersey, the little south of New Jersey called Edison. And we did that. We did the first part where everyone's going, oh, okay, I get it. He's doing Eyes on You again. And then boom, transferred into the animated world.
I mean, yeah, I absolutely love the video. And I think, Rishi, you just mentioned as well about the whole nostalgia surrounding the track. And I think it's a perfect time to release it, because with the year that we've all had, everyone's struggled in some way. And it's nice to kind of be taken back to when times were a bit more simpler, and just feel that nostalgia as well.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's the thing that, I feel that a lot of artists, they were scared to release music at the moment because understandably, a lot of artists kind of release music so they can tour, that's what they do. That's good. But then there's another reason why you should release music is so you can give, people at home who are listening, to your music, a bit of kind of to make them feel good. It's feel good music, Right now, every single person is at home. People are listening to a lot more music than they normally would. They're streaming a lot more. They're discovering new playlists. And this was the perfect thing. And I think, it would have been great just releasing the single with the Bazigar sample, because that would have given people nostalgia from the 90s, or they might have loved that kind of Bollywood thing. But there were so many elements to this where once you saw the video, you saw the nod to Eyes on You. Some people okay, Eyes on You, we love that. This is taking me back. But yet this sounds so fresh. And then when you see the animation, it's going back to all the iconic Shah Rukh scenes, where Jay's actually become Shah Rukh in the animation. Then he comes back. So it was kind of, at the time, when I think about it, I mean, a few weeks ago, me and Jay were on the phone like, do you think people will like this? It's kind of like, because we've done it very purely, it was like, we love this, we love the fact that we're giving Eyes on You, the animation, the shout thing. And it was making us smile, even though we haven't met each other doing this song. We haven't met all the team. We're all stuck in our houses. But for some reason, we had this real good feeling. And I honestly, a few hours or even a day into the track was released, what you just said, Priya, was that it just makes you feel good. It brought a smile on everyone's face. That's what the feedback we were being getting anyway.
And obviously, you know, you both have been in the game for quite a while now, and the fact that you're still relevant today is just a testament to yourself. How have you seen the music industry change over time, and how have you adapted to it?
Thank you, Priya. I appreciate that. I think one of the hardest things to do right now in anything, in the entertainment industry at least, well, actually in a lot of businesses, a lot of industries, is to stay relevant. You know, there's corporations who are getting, you know, axed because an app comes out and takes away their whole business. So everyone's kind of playing catch up. It's really, it's a rat race out there, and it's hard. And I think in music especially, there's never been more music than there is now in the history of the world, because we never had a chance to hear all of it. Now, anyone can put up their stuff on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify. So you've got all of this music, and you're hoping that your fans are still gonna go, actually, yeah, I'm gonna check out Jay Sean's, even though there's 1 billion new artists that have come out. So how do you do that? So, okay, so here's one thing I realized. You adapt. You have to adapt. There's a lot of people who are singers who go, well, no, you know what? I don't believe in that sound. That's rubbish. That's not pure, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, man. Then you're going to age yourself out the game. That's it. You're gone. You're going to be a dinosaur and you're gone. Things change. Sounds change, right? Back in the day, everyone used to record with live instruments in the music, in the studio. Stevie Wonder and those guys had live instruments and they had it all play at the same time and record in one go. People don't do that anymore. Now we write songs over, my last song I wrote over WhatsApp voice notes. Like, you adapt. So that's the thing. So A, I adapted, and B, I always make sure that I give my fans something that they know is Jay Sean. It doesn't matter whether the sound has changed, even if my style of singing is changing a little bit, it's still a Jay Sean song. You can tell by the way I write and the things that I write about. So I think that's it. You have to always bear in mind who you're doing this for, you know, and why. And I think that's the secret to me and Rishi's success, I think, is that we've adapted with the times.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, even with Nakhre, like, it feels like an old song, but with a modern twist.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I could have just answered that whole thing with that, basically.
So, on my show, I get upcoming Asian artists on quite frequently, and I ask them about, you know, who's influenced them, who's inspired them, and quite a lot of them do say you guys, because obviously, you know, we've grown up with the whole Rishi Rich project. Like, I think I was like 6 years old when Eyes on You was released, and
Wow.
All right, don't make us feel old. No, that's amazing. Wow.
And even like, I remember at secondary school, you know, I'd go into school and everyone was singing Down when you released that, and like, I just remember feeling so proud that, you know, like a brown person is doing it there mainstream. And I just wanted to ask, you know, how do you feel knowing the success you had back then and the success you continue to have? How do you feel knowing that impacts like this whole new generation of upcoming Asian artists?
Rishi, you want to take that and I can take it afterwards, or?
Yeah, I think you know, when we started doing music, when we started together, we didn't know what we were doing, which was the beauty of what we did and why we did what it did, because we were living in those times. And it's funny because I'm rewatching Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix at the moment, about the whole, you know, the 4 seasons of how hip hop started from where it was and where it began. And, you know, people at that time didn't know what they were doing, you know. And I think for us, it's a case of, when, you know, we were doing things because really we were doing it for our culture. There was no doubt, but we were obviously doing it because we wanted to break barriers. We wanted to be seen. We wanted to be heard. You know, we just wanted to kind of do music, and we, all 3 of us, you know, had our own goals. You know, Juggy wanted to be this pop Punjabi singer because there was a lot of artists coming in doing a lot of Desi stuff, and he wanted to be that. You know, Juggy was that kind of, he was your friend, you know, and all the guys I knew at that time were like, Juggy just looks like our friend from Southall. But that was Juggy. That was like, this is what I want to be. Jay was like, you know, I'm an Indian guy, but I love R&B and hip hop, and I want to do R&B and hip hop. I actually that's what I want to do, because no Indian guy is doing it, and no Indian guys have done it up what he's done up till now, you know. And I was like, I want to be this producer who just is not scared of putting different cultures of music together, things that are not that should not go together. I want to be the one that says, I'm actually going to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm going to put stuff together because I don't believe in rules. So I think what we did then is it did set a benchmark for a lot of people, as in like Apache Indian set a benchmark for, you know, showing me that actually, you know, we can go into the charts, we can do this. So, but I love the fact that it's encouraging artists and producers to kind of try things. You know, you're gonna have a lot of Indian producers come out and do their thing, you know. But I think for me, is like this is my philosophy anyway. Like when I stop doing music, I want to be remembered to be one of those people that changed a genre of music, not just had a few hits. Like we made a genre of music. That's something that will ever go down in history. So my thing is that you know, I love the fact that we can still be inspiring people. The messages I get today are the messages we were getting when we released Dance With You. So many years later, that inspiration is kicking in because, you know, and the beauty about what myself and Jay have done, this has not come out on a major record company. It's not a big brand. This is a label which is Jay's and my label come together. And if I personally think we've done, if not better than a major label could do. And that's because of the people that are fans that really said, okay, this is connected with us again, you know? So I love the fact that we can inspire people, and I hope we can still do that. And I hope it kind of shows people that don't be scared to fuse different cultures together. Like Jay says, there's so many artists I know, you know, in our industry that will say, I'm not going to sing Punjabi. I love R&B. I'm not even going to go there, you know. But Jay's like, actually, no, I'm going to do Punjabi. Yes, he's at a stage in his life now where he's like, I'm going to do what I want now because I've proven that I can do this, I can do that. But I'm going to just do everything now because I can and I want to. And the fact that he's on Punjabi playlists, he's not even a Punjabi artist, right. But the fact that people have really embraced it, you know, okay, these guys, they're not messing. They actually, everything they said they were going to do in the beginning 20 years ago, they're still doing that. We're still repping our culture, you know. So more so Jay than myself, because I've been in the Indian industry. Like that's part of where I've come from and what I'm doing. Where with Jay, he's like, okay, so it should show an artist that actually don't be scared. Don't be scared to kind of singing Punjabi or singing Gujarati, you know, or sing, you know, whatever. Just fuse different cultures, you know. I think that's how I feel, Jay. And I think, you know,
you're absolutely right, Rich. What's really, you know, what I'm most proud of as an artist, we all set out, yes, we all want hits, but also I wanted to stand for something. I don't just want to be that guy who had hits and lives a nice lifestyle because I made music that was successful. What did I do? What's the point? What was the point of Jay Sean when I leave? When it's all over, I want people to remember me for something great and for something that I left a mark. So I always looked at it like this. Last March, I did a song with Gucci Man, a trap R&B record with Gucci Man. This March, I did a song with Guru Randhawa. Completely different worlds, but at the same time, I'm not looking at it going, oh, I've got the black industry and the urban industry on this side, and like those kind of fans. I don't want them to think I'm weird because I do something on this side. I never think that. I'm actually proud, so proud of my culture. Why can't I put our people on the map? Then I took it one step further with Rish, and I was like, okay, so Guru was singing the Punjabi, and I was still kind of like the featured R&B singer. Now I'm doing both on the same record. And that to me is the ultimate embracing of my culture, of my people, of where I'm from, so that all the non-Indian fans who've known me from my more commercial mainstream music can, and they, by the way, they do. There's lots of non-Indians who have hit me up and gone, whoa, I love that song you've done with Rishi Rich. Like, dude, whatever you're singing in sounds dope. Like, that sounds so sick to us. And that's so fun. Like, that is the thing for me, you know, I want to go out knowing that people can, the future generation can go, yeah, you know, Jay did this for us. The reason why we're here is because, you know, they paved the way. And when you're the first to do something, it's always the hardest because you have so many obstacles. There's no book you can read. There's nobody's biography that you can read who tells you what to do when you come across this obstacle. We had to figure that out for ourselves, you know?
And, you know, it is true, like, you have both shaped the British Asian music scene and you've made your stamp. And I think on the other side of that as well, like yourselves and Juggy, you can tell you just all like nice people and you get along genuinely, like you're good mates, and that helps as well with, you know, staying relevant and people actually liking you.
Yeah, I think that means so much to us. Our friendship and relationship is everything. Like Rishi said in the last interview that we did before this, what's so weird is we are all creatives, and we always laugh about, I always say this, when me, Rish and Juggy are together and we're just messing around, we're being so stupid, having a laugh, just being three boys, being three lads, it is a miracle sometimes that we actually ever get anything done and that we do work. And I laugh about it. I'm like, can you believe we actually just did a smash just now? Us three pondus just joking around, but yet we all managed to get something beautiful done. And that is everything. There's no walking into the studio as an artist going, hey, Rishi Rich, producer man, yeah, I need a hit. Make me we don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all about the
No,
vibe.
very much true. It's all about, I mean, you know, there's something that as I truly believe in. I think I'm quite outspoken in terms of like, I really kind of do speak. And I felt, you know, being in this industry for so many years, probably, you know, in the Asian industry, longer than even Jay, you know, like I've noticed that even in lockdown, you know, it has affected a lot of people, you know, a lot of artists. And I started to kind of notice friends of mine, but people in the industry, I started to notice a lot of this darkness, this ego, you know, a lot of ego was coming out. A lot was shots were fired between producers, you know, and artists, whether you're in America, Canada, here, you know, or I'm better than you, or I'm the best, or listen to my song and look how many views I've got, you know, we're the number one. And I'm just like, one thing about us that I've always retained as well, is that we have never ever stepped in anyone else's lane. You know, we're just like, you know, you've got that road from LA to Vegas, that one road that we've been on this road, which is just our path. We've kept our head down. We've never got involved in any beef. We've never ever, people have tried, obviously said things but it doesn't affect us. We're really happy. We're very comfortable in our own life. We're very content. And that's why when we make music, it's not like we've got to make music. We make music as like, I'm seeing my boys today in the studio. Let's see what happens. You know, there's been times when we've been in the studio for 2 days and we've done nothing, you know? And I, for one, I've never, ever worried about what anyone says. I love the fact that, you know, when you do things from a pure heart, you're only going to get pure people will feel that. Like what you just said, Priya, that you don't really know us. You probably haven't met us, but you know that you can see us, that we're good. We're just a bunch of mates making music. And that's come off from maybe our interviews or seeing the behind the scenes or hearing our music. And even if now we still have that impression, you know, on people, I think it's beautiful because that is one part of what we want to leave behind as well, is that, you know what, it's not about kind of, you know, like the one comment I love, and it's happened, I think I've read so many comments on our video, and is that, look at this, you know, no flashy cars, no girls dancing around half naked, no brands, you know what I mean, no jewelry, nothing like that, just two friends making music, one walking down the street, good music, animation, and look at that. And people are like, this is what we need more of. And we were like, we didn't think of that. We didn't think, actually, we're going to do a video with no cars, no brands. You know, Jay's got a nice car. We've got good things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to project that. This whole project was so real that it was everything about this is Jay and myself. It's that pure two guys, everything, whether it's everything that's happened to it. And I love the fact that people can feel that as well.
Definitely. It is really nice and refreshing to see, like, you can tell it's like pure hearted. So
exactly, you can watch this video with your family, you know, there's nothing about this video that you have to like from the demographic, from someone who's 6 years old to someone who's 70 years old, can watch this video without feeling anything that not feeling a bit uncomfortable. Where a lot of the music videos have got that kind of stigma to it at the moment, which is fine because you need some, that's the industry for you. It's an entertainment industry.
Yeah, I think, Rishi, you know what it is also, and Priya, we've been in this, man, for half our lives. We've done everything, we've seen everything, we've been everywhere, we've toured the entire world 15 times over. There's nothing left to prove. I'm not sat here wearing chains and fancy watches and sunglasses and trying to say, yo, this is the music industry, man. I'm a pop star, dude. This is what I do. And I'm not shitting on people who think that that's what it is. But hey, maybe when I came out, maybe I was doing that too. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sure I was. I mean, Cash Money days in the beginning, I was wearing jewelry and all sorts of stuff. And then eventually you kind of just go, what am I actually doing this for? What is it about? And I think with experience and time, you understand that really the only thing that leaves an impression is the song. When they're sitting there, when you're in your room and you're listening to my song and you got your headphones on, you got your eyes closed and you're just enjoying the song, you're not thinking about anything else. And that's it. It's about how I make you feel. And that's it. That's all that matters.
Definitely. So Rishi, obviously you've made Break the Noise Records. That was during lockdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How's that all been?
It's been great. In March, actually, just before lockdown, I remember we went to Hard Rock Cafe here in Andheri, actually. There was a Hard Rock Cafe about 45 minutes away. And I was just like, you know what, I fancy some chicken wings. So I called my mate Richard and Kieran was here. So we all three went. And I was like, guys, you know what, I want to set a label up. And we didn't know about lockdown, we didn't know what was going on. And I was like, look, we've got this situation going on. And, I want to set the label up. They were like, cool. A week later, we had lockdown. So I didn't see anyone. But I managed to kind of get the label up and running. And, it's a label run by an artist, run by artists, for artists. Because I know for a fact that anyone that comes into the label, anyone I'm working with, the first thing I do for them is set their PRS up or their IPRS up and set their PPL up. Make sure that their publishing is on point. Make sure they have ownership of some sort of master, because the whole thing is that, I got to the point where I was like, I need to own my music now. I need to own what I do, and the whole thing about this label was just discovering new artists, putting new talent on the map, putting music that I genuinely want to put out, whether it works or not. And that's been something that I've always done. The project album, no one got it. No one got it when I put it out 10 years ago. People like, we don't understand this. Only now people like, oh my God, that's your best piece of work. And I actually agree. Like when you listen to the project, it's completely bonkers, and that's the whole thing. Like I kind of got to the stage where I was in and out of labels, for the past year, and they weren't getting what I was doing. Nakhre being one of them.
Yeah.
Nakhre was on my playlist when I was playing it to labels, and I was like, this is a new track me and Jay done. It's just a demo. People like, okay, cool. All right, what's next? That was it. And I'm like, really? But because people right now, they're kind of like, no one knows what's going to be successful. I don't know what labels want to hear. But there is a lot of pressure with, making sure your numbers are high, everything. So I was like, forget that. I'm setting a label up, and I love the fact that I can, not in a weird way, but I can have my friends on the label as well. That's the thing. Be like with Jay, it was the fact that the fourth single from my own label is a joint venture between Jay's label and mine. And we've managed to do this without any major label structure behind us. It's been amazing. It's been so good. And it just shows that, good music will always just push through. You don't have to, we're not putting out, oh my God, look at this 50 million views. We could pay for 50 million views if we wanted to. But I know for organically, people will like, yeah, I know, I can see the back end of what's going on with this, with everything. And I can see that it's so organic, it's beautiful.
Definitely. And Jay, can I just say, I'm loving your TikToks at the moment.
Oh, thank you. It's so fun, man. It's so silly. I just get to be who I've always been. And Rishi's laughs because like me and Rish both have such a weirdo side to us. But TikTok finally is that platform where I get to be that guy.
Yeah.
Literally, I scroll through and I'm like, oh my god, there's people like me. Like, it's just a weird place, but it's good.
It's a very weird place, but it's fun. And honestly, I've been lucky that people have been non-judgmental to me, because they're, I mean, did you hear about what happened to Tyler Cruz? It was horrible. They bullied him off the app. Yeah, he was on it for 3 days, and they were just like, what are you doing on here? And they just like, it was so mean to him that he, you know, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do any of that. I'm just trying to make people, my whole thing, I've always just trying to make people have a good time, make people laugh, make people feel good, and that's it. So, you know, so thank you. I appreciate that you're enjoying them.
Yeah. Well, listen, you know, Nakhre is amazing. Loving all the tracks, and thank you so much for making time to chat with me today.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you, Priya.
To your next song as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Project.
Good vibes, all good vibes.